Welcome. Before we begin, please note that nothing you hear on this podcast should be taken as medical advice. The voice you hear is AI because my own voice tires very easily. A quick PSA. The Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research is hosting a May 21st webinar on functional medicine and sarcoidosis. If you are interested, please check their events page at stopsarcoidosis.org. Now, on to the episode. I'm sitting in a waiting room that feels just a little too cold, wearing one of those paper gowns that somehow manages to be both flimsy and judgmental at the same time, staring at a clock like it personally owes me an explanation. And I can feel it starting. That quiet spiral. That thing where your mind decides without asking you that it's time to rehearse every possible outcome before you've even heard a single word. Because waiting for test results doesn't feel like waiting. It feels like something is about to be decided. Hello, and welcome to Thoughts While Surviving Chronic Illness. I'm Tate. Today, I want to talk about that strange space between testing and knowing, and what it really feels like to sit there holding your breath. So I'm in that room, trying to look like a reasonable adult, which mostly means sitting still and pretending I'm not mentally rewriting my entire future in real time. Because getting test results, especially when you live with something like sarcoidosis and heart failure, doesn't feel like a normal appointment. It feels like an award show you never bought a ticket to. You just show up, sit down, and wait to find out if your name is about to be called for something you didn't audition for. And the strange part is, the waiting is never just waiting. It's rehearsal. Your brain starts running scenarios. Everything is fine. Everything is not fine. Everything is fine, but actually not fine. You go through all of it like you're preparing for an outcome that hasn't even been written yet. So when the technician walks in and says we're doing an EKG, my brain immediately goes, "Oh, good, we've added a category. Didn't realize tonight had bonus rounds." I ask a normal question. He gives a normal answer. It's standard. Of course it is. So I lie there while the machine does its thing, wires and stickers and quiet little beeps. And my body is in the room, but my mind is somewhere else entirely. It's building alternate futures based on information I don't even have yet. Because when you live like this, you don't just wait for results. You prepare for impact. The test ends. He gives that polite nod and says, "The doctor will be right in." And there it is. The most dangerous sentence in medicine. Because that's when the real show starts. That space between those words and the door opening. That's where your brain fully takes over. You start reviewing everything, every symptom, every off day, every moment that felt even slightly different. You're sitting there probably scrolling your phone, maybe even looking calm. You are not calm. You are a full production. Then the door opens. The doctor walks in like this is just another day. And for him, it is. For me, this is the finale. This is the moment where everything either tightens or lets go. He asks how I'm doing, and I give the universal answer. I'm good. Which really means I have no idea what's about to happen, and I am trying to stay upright emotionally until I do. He looks at the report. There's a pause. And I swear, in that pause, time stretches in a way that doesn't make sense. Everything runs through your mind at once. Then he looks up. He says he reviewed the echo. And I brace. And instead of the version of this moment I had been rehearsing, he says, "My heart has never been better." And there's this split second where your brain just refuses to accept it. Like, are we sure we're talking about me? Did you grab the right file? But he keeps going. Says my output has increased. Says it's up to 50%. And just like that, everything I had been holding drops. Not gently. Just gone. All that quiet weight that had been sitting in the background for days, maybe weeks. The late night thinking. The what ifs. The steady low hum of worry. Gone. Now, that doesn't mean anything is cured. Sarcoidosis doesn't quietly pack up and leave because you got good news. It doesn't send a thank you card and disappear. It's still there. Still part of the story. But here's the thing. When you live with chronic illness, good news doesn't mean the story is over. It means you've been given a little space inside it, a little room to breathe. And when you've been living with heart involvement since 2007, when you've gone through everything that comes with that, hearing that your heart is the strongest it's ever been, it lands differently. It's relief, yeah. But it's also disbelief and cautious optimism. And if I'm being honest, just a little bit of suspicion, because this life teaches you not to get too comfortable. But still, I'll take it. Because it also means something else. If things shift again, if sarcoidosis decides to push back, I'm not starting from the edge. There's a buffer now, a little space between where I am and where things could go. And that matters more than people realize. Because I know what the other version of that conversation sounds like. I know how different that room would have felt if those numbers had gone the other way. So when I walked out of that appointment, I didn't feel cured. I didn't feel finished. I just felt lighter. And sometimes that's the win. Not a dramatic turnaround, not some big moment where everything changes forever, just a moment where your body gives you something back. A little strength, a little stability, a little breathing room. Proof that it's still trying, still showing up, still doing its job, even if it complains about it sometimes. And if you're sitting in your own version of that waiting room right now, staring at your own invisible envelope, I get it. That mix of hope and dread, that quiet bargaining, that feeling like everything is about to shift and you have no control over how. I see you. And I hope that when your moment comes, when your name gets called, you get something like this. A moment where the weight lifts, even if just for a while. Because those moments, they matter more than people realize. And that's one of the strange things about living with illness. On paper, it may be called rare, but once it shows up in your body, your lungs, or your heart, it stops feeling rare pretty quickly. Sarcoidosis is only rare until you're the one living with it. I'm Tate, and this is Thoughts While Surviving Chronic Illness. Thanks for being here. If something in this stayed with you and you want to share a quick thought, there's a text link in the show notes. I'll see it and can reply, but I only see the last few digits of your number. If you've got more to say, the contact form on my website is the better place to reach me. And if you enjoy this podcast, please rate, review, and share it. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. So until next time, stay safe, be happy, and most of all, keep breathing.